Hi, I'm Candace Gourdain, and this is Fitness and Harmonies. I got your back, and it's your choice. I want you to act like your own best friend. I'm here as your friend. I want you to learn how to support yourself. It's great that we show up into a group class, and we have each other, and we reflect with one another, and we're good friends, but I want that voice to be inside of you when you are in the midst of the disruptions of that life. So you are choosing, and you have the power to choose the profound experience that we call life. So your movements here on the mat and your movements out in the world, whether you go and choose to do this thing or not, are really a reflection of the life challenges that have shaped your approach to living. So one of the things you may be surprised that I have adopted as a strategy is I don't have a voice. You might be surprised at that I don't have a voice. Some people, you may know me outside of here, and you probably know that that's a little bit true. I don't speak a lot. I don't insert myself into social situations. I actually stay hidden and in the back. So we're going to honor the Vishuddha chakra, the chakra of the throat. This is the blue colored chakra that has to do with how we go out in the world and how we are heard and how we participate with the world. So first we have to have the strength of the core, so that we know who we are, so that we feel we are supported by ourselves and that inner dialogue that's always giving us sometimes a challenge of itself. So let's start here. Come to a seat, elongate the spine, find the crown of the head and let it rise up. Bring the thumb to the index finger, making this sort of OK symbol, then spin the arm bones out. Pull the elbows down and back, and then relax the back of the hands onto the thighs. Scoop the lower belly into the spine and let the front body rise up. Now lower your eyelids down. I want to start with the throat. Inhale through the nose. Now when you exhale, however you exhale, I want you to feel the energy rising up into your throat. We have a muscle in the throat that closes the throat. We can partially open it, partially close it, and that makes different sounds. When we work on the Vishuddha, that's the throat chakra. What we're doing is soothing, clearing out, stimulating, and balancing the thyroid gland. That has to do with metabolism and how fast we are running or slow. However you're exhaling now, you may have adopted Ujjayi. I want you to start vibrating the sound of the exhale. The Vishuddha chakra expresses yourself. So you first have to know what it is you want to say. To know that, you have to know what it is you want. This is the hardest question of all. What do you want? And then the movement patterns that you choose are a reflection of what you want. Do 3 slow breaths here. I want you to think about a lion's roar. It's really very loud. So for your last breath, almost roar that breath. So just shake out the cobwebs. Let's open the eyes. Let the head slowly rock side to side. So we'll stretch a little bit into the neck and open up the throat. Remind yourself that you came here because you wanted a friend. You wanted someone to support your desire to feel better, to boost your self-esteem, to relieve your personal anxiety story, right? So I want you to adopt a conscious strategy. Like, I'm going to listen. I'm going to do these little mantras, these little sayings that are going to help me feel better. Hold your head to one side, then let the top of your head rock forward and back gently. You should feel the side of the neck. Inhale, exhale. Don't let the body slump. Let the shoulders stay pulled back. Bring the head up. Rock it over to the other side. Hold there. Slowly let the top of the head rock forward and back. Remember, I'm here for you, and that you are here for you. So I'm trying to train you how to be a trainer for yourself. Slowly bring your head up to center. Now just bow your chin to your chest. Okay, when the chin is pulled into the neck and it's sort of closing off, you couldn't really talk very well this way. This is called Jaladhara Bandha. We're binding the throat. So actually hold the breath. Hold the throat closed for a second or two and then let it go. So play around with squeezing the throat muscles. Like a cough, you and then just breathe freely. Now try that lion's breath. Now with your head down, you should be able to do this without much of a problem. You inhale through the nose, and that's the normal breath. But when you exhale, open your mouth, stick your tongue out, and go, ah. Do that again. Ah. Okay, close your mouth. Go back to Ujjayi breath. Now rock the top of your head side to side again. Keep the chin down though, so keep that Jalandhara Bandha. Bind the throat. That doesn't mean always hold your breath. It just means that you're collecting energy there. So just like we need energy around the waist, so that we can find our strength, we can find the forces that we need to go and do. Find the energy and the strength of the throat. Bring the head slowly up to center. Close your eyes, but bring your palms together in front of your heart. So now lower your hands down towards your belly and then lift your hands up towards your heart. So your hands in this Anjali Mudra are going down and up like a little elevator, down and up. That's kind of stretching out around the wrists and the fingers. We're going to do a little fingertip exercise and shoulder exercise to make sure all those spaces are open. Don't rush into the pose. What I really want you to do is direct your inner conversation so that the mind can follow the breath and your intention. That is, what do you want? I said the hardest thing for you to figure out is, what do I want? We find ourselves caught up in the waves of action all the time. We're going here, we're going there, we're thinking this, we're doing that. But what do I want? That should be guiding my movements. Hold your hands down so your thumbs are sort of by your navel. Kind of crack your hands, so like the old-fashioned crack the knuckles. Spin your hands around so the back of your hands together. Now lift your hands or your wrists up towards your heart, elbows down, so you're kind of cracking your wrist the other way. Hold that there. Lift your shoulders up to your ears. Hold that there. Inhale, exhale, then soften the shoulders down. Release the hands. Let the palms face down on the thighs. Pull the shoulders up to the ears and hold them there. I want you to feel stress and tension and worry and fear. All those negative experiences, they're part of your constellation. Then release the shoulders down. As you do that, pull the belly in and broaden the chest out. So the belly and the heart inform the throat. What is it I want? How do I want to connect with the world? What do I say? What do I do? How do I interact when I move outside of myself? Slowly turn your head so your chin goes over towards one shoulder. When it gets there, nod the chin down and up. Be careful in the neck here. Down and up. Don't rush. We're not going to rush into poses today. This is more of an experiential meditation on what my inner voice is saying. Drop the chin down and hold. To almost lion's breath. You don't always have to open your mouth. You're just really opening up the space in the back of the throat and vibrate. Lift your chin up. Spin your head slowly to the other side. When you get there, nod your chin down and up. Slowly, don't rush. Let your working, thinking, doing, chattering mind become still. Drop your chin down and hold. Notice the shoulder that you're not towards, that one behind you there. Just notice it. 2, I'm going to call them lion's breaths. Ah. Could be a hum. Lift your head, spin your head back to the center. Let's come into hands and knees. We're going to come back to a seated pose, but let's start out in hands and knees. So if you want, move some of your props. You could always put a pad or roll up your mat if your knees are particularly bony today. Bring the fingers to the mat. So I'm going to say stay on your knees. Don't necessarily put pressure on your shoulders yet. Come to the fingertips. Then circle the body around so that there's some pressure on your fingertips. Keep guiding and supporting yourself. So I want you to kind of repeat after me in your own mind. I am present here now. I have an image of good living. Now go the other way. I am present here now. I have an image of good living. We all do. We all have this image. Maybe it looks like something very fancy, but it doesn't have to. It could be something very simple. Come to center and then rock back and forward a little bit. So you are putting a little bit of pressure on the fingertips. Notice when you're on the fingertips, you're not going to put all of your body weight onto your shoulders because you're going to protect your shoulders. So I want you to remember that when you're coaching and guiding yourself. Let whatever your intention is, let's say I'm going to be kind to my shoulders today, let that show up in whatever movement you're choosing on and off the mat. Come to center, press the palms down, so kind of lower, but keep this part right below your finger knuckles, that part pushing into the floor, not the heel of your hand. So that ball mounds, I guess, press that into the floor. Then rock the hips side to side. We're going to stretch out the hips. A lot of times, the past. We're going to delve into your past. A lot of times your past is what causes you to hold your throat closed. I didn't get something I needed at some point, so I'm holding back my needs. I'm holding back, I think I don't deserve that thing that I need. Remember, you and I are here as a social environment to guide you. So let this be a time where you give yourself time and space to find what you need so that you get what you need, so that your energy, your power, that you show up in this world. You don't get to hold back your gifts. Now push the hips back, walk your hands forward, glue your fingers to the mat. So once again, you're doing that fingertip pressing into the floor, and then pull the shoulders in. So you're trying to pull your shoulder girdle back and down towards your hips. Pull. So I'm not pulling with the weight of my hips right now. I'm pulling with the muscles around the shoulder blade. Inhale, exhale. You can let your head hang. Maybe rock your head or maybe swim your shoulders. Let your inner voice, let your needs and wants be your guide. You just showed up. You just brought this body to the mat. A lot of times when I'm practicing alone, I just get down and go, okay, what is here today? I don't have a strategy. I don't have a plan. I just go, what is showing up today? 3, let's do those 2 lion's breaths. Ah, ah, and then come up. Press the palms. Remember when I say palms, I mean this ridge right under the fingers. Press that into the floor. Turn your toes under. Lift your knees a little bit up off the floor. Lean a little bit back towards your toes. So kind of crouch towards the toes. You should feel the same cracking in the toes that we did in the fingers. Remember, don't lean into your heel of your hand. Now kind of sway your knees a little side to side. Make sure your abdominals really know what they're doing here. Guide and support yourself in your intention. Maybe your intention today was to really take it easy. Now lift up into your glorious first downward dog. It's almost like you can hear the trumpets go off. There it is, downward dog. There it is, downward dog. Remember the pulling with the shoulder? Pull the shoulder down and back. Maybe bend your knees and lean further back. Give to yourself the love, kind supportive enforcement that you might get from a trainer. The trainer goes, good job. Don't bypass the good feelings. Let those good feelings resonate. This feels good. Gently walk your way forward and come to forward fold. Good. You're doing it. Hang. Now maybe bring your hands to the back of your skull. So kind of like hold the ball of your head at the base with your hands. And give it a little tug and a gentle twist and a little circle. So we're pulling the head a little bit off. It always seems very funny, but the neck, such a small space that houses, just about the most important connection, and that is the brain to the heart and lungs, and then of course to the rest of the body. Now use your fingertips and give yourself a little massage here. So circle the little fingers in little tiny circles into the skin and the muscle, all around the base of your skull, into your sides of your neck. That should feel good. Remember, you just showed up here to say, oh, what feels good? How can I love and support myself here today? All right, so bring your hands to your knees. Bend your knees. Lift your head and chest up some, not all the way yet. I had to fix my hair. My hair was all upside down. And then spring up by straightening your legs, straightening at the hips. Bring the hands to the pelvis behind you and then push the pelvis forward. All right, keep pushing. Keep pushing. Almost make this like this is an exercise in how hard you can push your hands forward. Of course, what winds up happening is you're stretching all the muscles and ligaments on the front of the hips here. 3. Let's do 2 of those lion breaths. And then release to Tadasana. The overall arching goal of our yoga practice is to be in this space, in this body, here now, enlightened. As we travel up through the chakras from the root that connects us to the energy of the earth and all that is, it brings us up through the crown of the head, which awakens us to a bigger power source. From here, take one arm, I'll turn so you can say one arm across. Let's grab at almost the wrist and give that arm a pull across. Now gently wobble your head around and try many different directions. Okay, so imagine that you are like a personal trainer and you are telling you, this is what I want you to do. How do you know? Okay, knowing, experience and education are one thing. But how do you know what your client is feeling? How do you know when to change direction? Good news. You have a nervous system that's giving you all of those quiet answers. 3 slow breaths. Keep showing up. I'm here now. I am here as your friend. Say that to yourself. I am here. Release the arm. Let's go to the other side. So grab around the forearm and give it a pull across. Notice that your shoulder wants to kind of rise up. It's almost like it's trying to help you get up over there. Don't do that. Keep the shoulder down. Keep adopting the strategy that the inner conversation is guiding you, not me. So the lion's breath kind of wipes the slate clean. Again and again. Ease into whatever it is you're feeling. Remember, you might be bobbling your head slowly around in a variety of postures and movement patterns. Vibrate, positively enforce, reinforce. I am committed to you. I love you. I know what you need, and I'm going to do everything I can to make sure you get that. Last breath here. And then release the arm down. Good. Let's step 1 foot forward, angle the other leg back. So today's practice, I said, was going to be a little, elementary or beginnery. I really like those. Those are my favorite because I like taking the time to figure out, what am I even doing here? So first, Figure out what the hips are doing. My hips were rocked forward. I could see that in my camera, that my hips were automatically rocked forward. So maybe rock and roll your hips around until you find center. So level the waistband. Once you have that, scoop the belly in and pull. So the front body pulls in and meets the back body. Back body's not going to go anywhere. We've found that out. It doesn't really move very much. All right, so now bend and straighten this front leg, but not just the front leg. The back leg is squeezing together. So as you bend the front leg, the outer hip muscles push you out. But as you pull this front leg in, that is straighten the leg, the back leg soccer kicks forward. When you're ready, come into warrior two. When you're ready, come into warrior two. So same thing, hips level, this front knee bent. So maybe you've got this flat, parallel to the floor front leg. Now spin the shoulders open. So do this little number where you do this big expressive ta-da. Once you have that and you're holding that there, turn just your hands down. Notice the difference. You didn't just spin the whole arms down, just the hands down. Now practice moving towards triangle. That's you straighten the front leg and tip. You come to warrior two, and then you straighten the front leg and tip. So it's I'm a little teapot. Warrior two, triangle. Hey, maybe if yoga was created in modern times, this would be called teapot. But since it was created in ancient times, it's warrior two and triangle. 2 more breaths. Remember, keep the shoulders spun open. You might be tempted to close them. Hold your triangle, that is straighten the front leg. Now engage all of the leg muscles. Squeeze the front body into the back body. Ease into the shape. Don't rush. Take this top arm, hide it behind your back. Take your face, turn your eyes to the floor. Nod your chin down and up, down and up. Drop your chin down and hold. Hold. Begin to bend your front knee. Push up. Let's spin to the long edge, turn your feet, and then hang forward and down. All right, if you have blocks and the blocks help you touch something, you need to touch something, right? You need to have a place where you're settled.
Okay, I want you to keep going. Keep holding this forward bend while I go take care of the dog. That's it. Very good.
Okay, this is a good place to do lion's breath. Inhale, tongue out, mouth wide open. Ha. 2 more times. Ha. Ha. Bend your knees, walk your feet together, heel toe. Bring your hands to your knees. Sit down, so bend the knees, hover there. Bring your hands to the heart, spring up. You do that by straightening your knees and your hips. Circle and reach the arms up overhead. Exhale, extend up and back. Inhale, come up. And then just circle the hands back to the heart. Pause for a moment. Press the big toes into the floor. Close your eyes and drop your chin to your chest. We're not going to go anywhere. We're going to stay right here for a moment. I wanted to tell you that. I want you to work on balance. So imagine that I'm teaching you, the trainer, that you're going to teach this person balance. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to balance. Options could be both feet on floor. Options could be 1 foot. But I want you to keep your head, your mind, your internal dialogue. Accepting where you are today, kind and supportive. So no angry, yelling trainer. Good. If you've been doing just one leg, this would be a good time to switch legs if you're practicing one leg. Maybe you just take this moment to shift. Maybe you've only been paying attention to one concept. Give yourself something new to look at. But accept where you are today. Don't force the shape. What do you need to hear? What would be a supportive phrase? Two or three more breaths. And then come back. Let's step the other foot forward. So I turn. So one foot forward, angle the other leg back. This is where I did the bit where we just had to find first the waist. So rock and roll the hips around until you find that your waistband is level with the floor, with the horizon, with the energy of the earth. Remember, our ultimate goal today is to draw the energy from the earth into the core where we make something conscious out of it, something strong and knowing. And then through the heart where we add in our own experiential patterns. Now do that thing where you squeeze the legs together and then push the legs out. Squeeze, and like you're popping something. So give this a lot of energy. So this is, again, training the legs to suck up energy from the earth. And it's been shown time and time again that doing these movement patterns, when they align with your kind of higher guidance, with the thing you know you need to do for yourself, that it alleviates that stress. Then come to warrior two. So front knee bent, hips level. Arms, spin them open, and then turn the palms down.
Hold this warrior two while I go try to settle my dog down. Good.
Hold this warrior two. Keep making the front body meet the back body. Now, from here, straighten the front leg and start kind of rehearsing triangle. That's a good way to say this. Remember, you have the power. Through the constellation of life challenges, you've adopted a strategy. So let's say you were talking to someone who you like and you want to be kind to them. That's the voice that I want you to use inside. Many times we talk to other people with very kind, loving, compassionate voices, and then we talk to ourselves with kind of this, angry mom voice. So I want you to adopt the strategy that I'm going to talk to myself, that I have this power. 2 more times. Remember, the shoulders are rolled back. If you have to shimmy, shake them, do that. Then hold this sort of triangle. Take this opposite arm, the top arm, hide it behind your back. Take your face, turn your eyes to this floor. Keep opening up, whichever hip is behind you, keep opening it back. The goal in yoga is not to take ligaments, or even muscles for that matter, and stretch them out. That really seems like that's the point. It's not the point. It's to be in the body. And a lot of times when connective tissue and muscles, etc., get tight because of the injuries we've had in our lives and our minds, we can't be in the body. We're not fully here. Bend this front knee. Use your front or this other hand to push up. And then come into Tadasana. Let's come to the front of the mat. Bring the hands together. Wiggle the big toes and then push the big toes down. Inhale and circle up. Exhale, extend up and back. Come to forward fold and hang. Two lion's breaths. Remember that's bend your knees, walk back to downward dog. Splay the fingers out. Remember where you're putting the pressure on the front of your palm. Spin the arm bones open. That glorious, the trumpet sound, downward dog. Two. Remember, say things to yourself like, you are my hero. You're doing great. Come down onto the belly. Make sure I have space here so you can see what I'm doing. We're going to take one arm out. That arm can be a little up, straight out, or a little down. Let's start out with a little down. Then use your other arm, like a little crocodile arm, and push into the floor so that you roll. You can bend your knees to make a space, and you roll kind of onto your side. So what's happening is you're taking one arm and you're pulling it behind the plane of the body. Maybe unwind. Maybe come out of this. Maybe try arm a little up. That's probably too much. Or arm a little out. That still might be too much. So down is the safest way. Almost like I'm just trying to push into that space where the pec meets the shoulder. That's all I'm trying to do. You are your coach here. You know, I'm not literally with you. I can't really see, and I definitely can't feel what you're feeling. Come back. Let's try the other arm. Stretch it out. Maybe a little down. That is down toward your hip. Then spin over onto your side, putting pressure. Two. Be kind. Really be kind to that shoulder. And one. Take your time now. Gather your arms. Push up off the floor. I'm going to give you a minute to get into this. I got thunder going on. I got a dog walking around, but I'm going to keep doing yoga anyway. We're going to come around to a seated pose with the feet in front. Here's another little warning. This one's going to be hard, especially if you have shoulders. It doesn't even matter if they're bad shoulders. If you have shoulders, this might be a challenge. So it's going to be called four-legged table, people that know that. Take the fingers so that they're pointing out behind you, like a little seal. And then open up the chest. Again, you are your own best friend here. You are your coach and your guide, your little yoga Sherpa. So what you do next is guided by your intention of what you want. You might push down and lift the chest up higher, pulling the shoulders back and together behind you. You might decide with your feet firmly planted on the floor to lift your hips a little bit up off the floor, strengthening the back. Remember, I got your back means I want you to strengthen your back. It might be a day where you choose to lift your hips up. It's called tabletop after all, so you probably can figure out the shape, but don't be in a rush to get into this shape. Nobody's going to ask you. It's not going to be some grand final exam where somebody says, hey, can you get into tabletop? Even if you're up, come back down. Try crossing one ankle over the opposite knee, making like a figure four. You might choose to push your palms down and push your chest into your shin. It might be that kind of day where in this pose and posture, you choose to lift up some. All right, bad shoulders, bad wrists, don't even. Just stay where you are. You might even lift up a little bit higher. So this is another good pec stretch. It's strengthening the back of the shoulders, the back of the low back, while stretching the front. We all kind of need that. Come back down. If you can, give these legs a hug. So wrap them around and pull them in. Yikes, hello. Give this a lion's breath. Exhale, and then switch. So try this again. You can cross the ankle, the other ankle over. Spin the hands sort of towards the back. Press the fingers down. Push the chest forward until it meets the shin. That's a good stretch. It may be the kind of day where you lift up, make a four-legged table. And come down, sit up. Grab these legs, give them a big hug, and pull them in. Say hello to that hip. We worked those hips. Don't you remember the triangle, warrior little series we did? You really opened up the hips. When we say opened up, what we really mean is we're making that connective tissue warm so that blood flow and the nervous system can get in there. It doesn't get everywhere all the time. Your body, your blood, it skips places sometimes. Inhale, exhale. And then make your way down to your back. Let's slow down. Oh. Bring the soles of your feet together. Let the knees fall open. Lift the arms up and out like a big letter Y. All right, so for a moment, I want you to receive. We're going to ease into our Shavasana today, if you can stay with me here. It's going to be okay. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to coach you. I'll be here. In this pose, I want you to imagine you're a big satellite dish. You're receiving. And so throughout your life, from the very beginning, we've been receiving. Instructions and cues and positive and negative experiences and feelings. And there's this big receptacle. It's not just your mind, it's the whole thing. Everything you are, everything you say, everything you experience, you choose how to interpret it. If you need more love, support, guidance, caring, then you tend to try to create that in all of your interactions. Let's do 3 breaths. You don't have to open your mouth, but I want you to think lion, roar. Lion, roar. Slowly draw your knees together. Bring your knees towards your chest. Use your hands and pull. Knees to chest. Slowly turn your head gently side and to the other side. Inhale, exhale. Move into Shavasana when you get there. Ease yourself into stillness. When you find a place that feels comfortable, release completely into it. Now picturing your heart space, imagine that your heart is covered so that your heart feels safe and supported. I want you to sort of watch a film of your life. From your childhood, events. Even if you have to feel what you felt, each event, let it flow. This film continues. Events, unwaveringly be in each experience. Let the breath come in. Let it float out. And now I want you to release all pain and suffering that that person is still holding. Accept where you are today. Continue a kind conversation with this self. Slowly inhale. Let it go. Open your eyes now and push your way back up. Come to a Sukhasana. Bring the palms together. Bow your chin to your chest. Lift your head up. Inhale, circle up, receive all. Exhale, bring it back. Ease yourself back into your day with love and kindness. Namaste.